Alright, so this is our go-home show for Fastlane. Man, it feels the Royal Rumble was only a couple of Raws ago. We begin with John Cena in the ring, doing a predominantly serious promo about Rusev. So it was good. Serious John Cena works. They then had a brawl, kind of like last week. But this week, John Cena got the upper hand on Rusev. Who do I think is one of the pay-per-view match? I think John Cena wins by count out. Or I think they go for almost kind of like the Austin Bret Hart moment, where John Cena is in the accolade, fights his way out, gets himself into another accolade, fights out slower, gets into a third accolade, passes out in the ring. I know they do the pass out spot a lot, but I think it works. You then have him keep on holding on the accolade to have a reversal by DQ. They hype up their main event matches involving Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns versus Kane and Big Show. But they switched dance partners because I'm thinking some might have saw last week's show and just went, what faces? Just switch the faces. Brand new matches. We haven't seen those in a while. Reigns wins by countout against Kane. Big Show wins by DQ because of interference by Roman Reigns, which then leads to a brawl. And they did a very fantastic face-to-face brawl. It was the best thing done for this whole build-up. Beyond having Daniel Bryan on the mic during Roman Reigns' match and Roman Reigns taking selfies. You don't want to give Reigns a live mic and have him be answering questions. That would be horrible. I'm hoping for no contest. To go triple threat match. I'm hoping for that. Horrible way to end a pay-per-view, but they're on the network and this one's free. So you can do a piss poor ending to a match to do a better build-up for the next pay-per-view. Ambrose. Nice, hard-hitting match against Harper, which Harper lost. Ambrose definitely wants to face Bad News Barrett for the title. Later on that night, Bad News Barrett takes on Mizdow, with Miz ringing a bell to occasionally stop Mizdow's offense. So, Bad News Barrett cannot defeat has a hard time defeating an easily confused Mizdow. He wins the Bullhammer in a match that made him actually pretty weak, even though he won. And then Ambrose zip ties him to a ring post, puts a pen in his hand, and scrawls BMB for their IC title match. At this point, I'm thinking you put the title on Ambrose. He hasn't really won a feud. Put the title on him. Have him defend it more times than his U.S. title. You know, give him, make him be your mid-card workhorse. Good stuff right there. Seth Rollins called out Dolph Ziggler. And they had a fantastic match. Book these two workhorses for Mania. Give them a half-an-hour match. Half an hour, like mini Iron Man matches, let them go. Just be like, go. Just do it. Let them fade. Just let them go at it and be like, you have a half an hour. Do whatever you've wanted to do on a match, but just do it in a half an hour. Which Ziggler wins by DQ and J&J storm the ring, which then leads to R&E storming the ring. So, wait a minute. J&J Security and Rollins are part of the Authority. And while Ziggler was being triple teamed by members of the Authority, people who were part of Team Cena came down and helped him out. That almost sounds like continuity of storylines and something that would make sense in the world of professional wrestling. Man, it only took them how many months to actually do that? That was pretty entertaining. That was good. Natalya and Tyson Kidd took on an Uso and Naomi in a mixed tag match. I liked it. Kidd did a good job pissing off the Uso and then tagging out. Remind me very much of the Kings of Wrestling stable when it was Cesaro, Chris Hero, and Sarah Del Rey. You know, Hero would piss off one of the faces in the tag out the Del Rey, therefore forcing the woman to come into the ring. Good stuff. Good stuff. Naomi wins after a nice series of roll-ups. Naomi, I tell you, put on a really solid Divas performance. The Usos are taking on Team freaking Awesome, or Awesome Cats, or Swinger Cats, or King of Cats, whatever they're going to call themselves, in a title match. I don't picture Tyson and Cesaro winning. I would love to, because I think that would be a really good notch in their belts, but I don't picture them winning. The Ascension took on the team of Darren Young, who I think they probably gave him a match because he had a deleted tweet about going to the United Arab Emirates. And other guy. Ascension just runs roughshod on them until Titus O'Neil comes on and saves Darren Young, therefore reforming. Prime time players, PTP in the house. Millions of dollars, millions of dollars, millions of dollars. I have no one to sway with, and I can't sway because I'm white and I'm sitting in the chair. I was like, alright. No days off, Darren Young and the Gator. Hurrah, hurrah, hurrah. Teaming back up. Alright. That works. I guess Heath Slater's gonna get fired now. So got nothing for him to do. That was pretty good. I'm like, I like that. It's good. The New Day took on the Dusts. After a pep talk from Dusty Rhodes, the Dusts seem to be on the same page. The match goes through, and Kofi Kingston takes advantage, even though Michael Cole confused Kofi Kingston for Xavier Woods. This is when I wish he was heel Michael Cole, because then he'd been like, because they all look alike, and it would have been great, and people would be like, ah. Oh. And then when people would tweet about it, it was like, hashtag be a star. But the fact that he blatantly called him the wrong guy. It's not like it's an Uso where he can make the mistake. Or Miz and Mizdow. Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods look very different movesets. Which then leads to, you know, Stardust helping Goldust back up. Like, it's okay, we did a good job, we did fine. Crossroads. Alright. Cool. So they're finally gonna break up. And they do a moment in the back during a commercial break. I've got this weird straight here, that's what I'm calling it. Where Stardust is talking with his dad. And he's like, I was supposed to be the future, but then I had to deal with Polka Dot wearing his appointment for a father, and a painted freak for a brother, and that just led to Cody just cracking under the pressure, becoming one with the stars, and it was just beautifully done promo. And then he's like, Cody's dead, and you're dead, and my brother's dead. You're dead to me. Just perfect. This is the best Cody has been since he was smoke and mirrors, played slowly, Dr. Doom Cody Rhodes. Great stuff. Great stuff. Byron Saxon was going to talk to Paige, but the Bellas were in there and they stole her ring gear. Because women's wrestling isn't given any sort of true direction or storyline or care. So they're like, Paige, you need to wrestle naked or in a towel. I was like, Paige in a towel was probably still better than like half the roster. But that's okay. Because Cameron is there in the hallway. Can I borrow some ring gear? It was a cobra on you. Girl by hair flip. I was like, what am I going to do? They pan back down the same freaking hallway. And out of nowhere, the Rosebuds are there. She steals the outfit off of one of them. It comes down like a goth Rainbow Bright. And beats Summer Rae. in a match that was like a shorter version of the match they had on SmackDown, which was actually a decent match on SmackDown. And then the Bellas came around, they're like, oh, look at you. You look stupid. You're not in great ring gear. We're generic mean girls. Brr. Then Paige got on mic and she was like, no. I don't need clothes to make me look good. I just need to wrestle in the ring. Now the best is if I take your Divas title. And I was like, that's good. That's great. Alright, that works. Thank you, Paige, for saving this whole freaking segment. Nikki versus Paige. If Paige, when she's a 3-time champion, that's she's 22 and will be a 3-time champion. I know they're looking at doing some call-ups now that they took the belt off Charlotte. Bringing Charlotte in would really reinvigorate the Divas division. They could give them any time to do anything and give them actual personalities. Personalities that require more space than an index card. Or, for young people, a tweet. Emma, dancer. Summer Rain, dancer. Nikki, twin. Brie, twin. But you're also mean girls. Naomi, dancer. Rosa Mendes, dancer. Ava Marie, robot. AJ Lee, home. And of course, who could forget they're in Orlando? Ric Flair has a confrontation with Triple H about Sting. They hype up the fact that Triple H and Sting are going to look at each other in a ring. Fastlane. I don't want to call it pay-per-view. I almost just want to call them like a super show. With around the network, they're really not doing these huge, massive things. And the fact that they're going to have a stare down, which will then lead to them having a match at WrestleMania. But H, great job. H and H work very well off each other. H, tremendous amount of just aggression. Looks great. I'm looking forward to Triple H representing WWE versus Sting representing WCW. That sounds like an awesome match and a great feud to have at Mania. So I'm looking forward to their talking, face to face, whatever they want to call it, confrontation. And throughout the night, they littered like a little sprinkling of Bray Wyatt with a nail, with a hammer, and then hammering that nail. Talking about being one with the limbo and coming after the man who built the world with his own hands while he's the one who's going to tear it down. Very great and very cryptic, even though I'm willing to bet it's probably The Undertaker, which would be kind of cool. Unless he's called the Boogeyman, which would be really bizarre and out of left field. So that could be a really solid feud. Dead Man coming back after being injured at the hands of the Beast incarnate Brock Lesnar, taking on Bray Wyatt. That could be a pretty solid match. Pretty unique feud. The two supernatural guys going one-on-one after each other. So, interesting. I kind of like where they're going with that. Bray Wyatt actually needs to win a feud as well. We are going to hit this weird point where it's like Dean Ambrose needs to really win a feud. Bray Wyatt really needs to win a feud. Dolph Ziggler doesn't need to win a feud because he's going to look awesome either way. So all in all, a better Raw than last week, which saw I think a drop off of 500,000 viewers throughout the night. But I hope that after Fastlane, they really, really start ramping it up all the way to WrestleMania.